Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and this is the 7th race in season number 2 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. We are here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Coca-Cola 600, a 60-lap race here today, and it should be a good one. And just a little note here, the past 2 times I have done an NRT 2003 Cup Series, when I finished it, the winner of this race ended up being the champion. You see Roger Carruth there in the number 17. He won this race last season, and he won the championship. You remember back Yellow Cup Series season 1 last year, which doesn't exist. Brett Yoder won this race and ended up winning the championship. So could be big if you win this race. Might not get just a chase spot. You could win the championship. But anyway, let's get to the starting lineup. Jesse Turner's on the pole. Cameron Gaju alongside him. Roger Carruth, the winner of this race last season. Max Newworth, Dean Wicker, Zachary Fitzwater, Ferdinand Gabat, Cameron Garlington, Garrett Zenor, L.J. Mills, Abe Troxel, Tristan Walker. Hold on just a minute. Okay. Trey Bartow, Marshall Free, Nicholas Amadeo. I'm doing this all wrong. Justin Roberts, Stuart Gratton, Joffrey Toussaint, Riley White, Nathan Powers, Alan Cavagnaro, our last winner, Matt Dalio, Mitchell Millian, Warren Henniger, Eric Powers, Sergio Larvin Alonso, Darlin Kenyon, Aaron Walpole, Jacob Reed, Cody Hagen, Diego Stevenson, Austin Spencer, Will Blake, Michael James, Eric Hyden, Jonathan Skivnicki, Christian Master, Tyler Selsman, Caleb Hoffman, Elijah Gordon, Dana Mon, and Biff Crafton. So let's get to the starting lineup here. Or wait, we already did that. I'm foggy-headed today. And I'm a little frazzled because I tried to record this one time and it was laggy and all that. And you might see a little lag on this one, but I've been having a lot of problems with Bandicam recently and a lot of lag. It looks like everybody's good, so nobody popping out for problems. So yeah, Jesse Turner and Cameron Gaju on the front row. Jesse Turner won the Daytona 500 in season number 1, and he's looking to continue a hot streak of winning in big races. Well, not really a hot streak. He only won 2 races last year, but he starts on pole for this one, and the green flag is out in the Coca-Cola 600. Okay, we're good. We're all good. Everyone's starting the race. First time I recorded it, someone did have a problem before the race and didn't really work out too well for him. But hopefully this works. I don't know if it will, but hopefully it does. Jesse Turner is going to lead the first lap of the race here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. And, I'm a little frazzled. I already said this, but I'm frazzled because I don't know if this is recording right. But hopefully it is, and the game doesn't seem to be lagging like it was, so it looks pretty good. Here comes Dean Wicker for second place underneath of the winner of this race last season, Roger Carruth. Really haven't seen much of our past champion this season, but this is definitely a track he can win at. He won his first ever Napa Fan race here, won the Coca-Cola 600 in season number 1, but he's going to lose a position to Dean Wicker with help from Cameron Garlington. And the last time we saw this guy, Ferdinand Gabat, he finished second at Texas Motor Speedway. Right now, he is getting 4th from Roger Carruth, and that part-time guy might just win the championship the way he's racing in this number 21. But Jesse Turner, looking pretty good in this number 43. Now, if I'm not mistaken, in the Crown Royal Series race, Jacob Reed, once he got out front, he stayed there. He only got past after he led like 7 or so laps in a row. And Jesse Turner has a really powerful car here tonight. He definitely wants to get a win, get back into the chase. Of course, this time last season, he was already in the chase because he won the first race of the season. But here it is, we're 7 races in. He doesn't have a win yet, and definitely wants to get a win here tonight. This is the only series he actually is in, because he wasn't actually available for sign-ups. Austin Spencer signed up for him, get this car, and I'm glad he's returning. He returned to the series. Great to have him in the series. I know he probably follows it like crazy. And he's doing a good job in this number 43 here tonight. And here's a guy who's gotten only one win in his career, Cameron Garlington, in the number 42. He was able to get a draft on him because he's put a lot of space in between him and third place, and now Garlington's going for the lead underneath of Turner. LJ Mills pops up to third place, and Gabat is battling with Wickard for fourth. Here comes Joffrey Toussaint. Roger Carouf's up here. Daytona 500 winner Nicholas Amadeo, Mason Powers, and the guy who won the last race in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, Alan Cavagnaro, in a good position here. Cameron Garlington out front in the number 42, but here comes Jesse Turner trying to take the lead back from the number 42, and it looks like he's going to do so down the backstretch, but he's got LJ Mills right behind him. And considering how close Mills is running on the back bumper of Turner, it almost looks like he wanted to go 3 wide for the lead there, but he doesn't. He plays it safe, and Mills gets second from Cameron Garlington. And now it's starting to rain. Like everything, the power probably going to go. The power is probably going to go out on me, but fortunately, this is a laptop I'm doing this on, so I can still record this even if the power goes out. Might want to turn the air conditioner off, but oh well. Hopefully this works. I'm really worried about the lag, and hopefully it isn't too bad. It might be a little laggy, but hopefully it isn't too bad. That just freaks me out. I don't like it at all. But Jesse Turner is probably liking being out here in the lead in the number 43, and it's been these three guys for quite a while in the top three: Garlington, Mills, and Turner. All three of these guys raced last season, and we've only had 2 veterans so far this season win a race, and nobody who won in Season 1 has won yet in Season number 2. So that's a very interesting fact right there. Jesse Turner, Cameron Garlington, and LJ Mills all won last season, and they're 1, 2, 3 right now here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. We've got a few rookies back here: Dean Wickard in the number 26, Abe Troxel, and Nicholas Amadeo moving their ways up. Roger Carouf in the 17. Remember, he won this race last season. He's in 8th. Alan Cavagnaro won the last race in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. He was only the second veteran so far to win this season, and the other guy being Jacob Reed in the 46. He won at California in a kind of surprising way. But we got a lot of rookies up here, but a lot of veterans. Trey Bartow, he's always good here. Warren Henniger. Remember, the 11 and the 27 had a pretty big collision here in season number 1 in the Coke 600. That was the biggest crash of the night. The only crash, actually, not the only crash, but the only caution of the night came out for actually an incident before, and the crash actually happened under caution. Of course, most of you guys probably saw that. Remember, Henniger got spun by Dalio in the turn 1, and then Cavagnaro came in and rammed right into him, and wasn't too good for those guys in that race. Well, Jesse Turner is doing a fantastic job in this number 43. He has led all but 1 lap, I'm pretty sure. And he definitely wants to get this win. You can tell by the way he's racing out there. Garlington has fallen back to 7th in this number 42. Here comes Henniger and Bartow. See, I don't know how many guys have returned to their same rides that they drove in season number 1. Turner is one of them. That's 1. I know Roger Carouf's one of them. That's 2. Henniger and Bartow. It's 3 and 4. Stuart Grattan. That's 5. Aaron Walpole. Cavagnaro. Stevenson. 6, 7, and... Or no, wait. Not 6, 7, 8. Actually, yeah. 6, 7, and 8. So that's 8 guys right there. Spencer. That's 9, 10. Master. It's 11. 12 for Fitzwater. Sidnor, and that might be it. I think only 13 guys returned to their rides. And of course, since I wasn't following the lead, there was a lead change. LJ Mills, the new leader here in the Coca-Cola 600. He's got Nicholas Amadeo, Roger Carouf, Dean Wickard, Cameron Garlington. And somehow, I'm pretty sure Turner got stuck on the outside and got passed by all those cars going single file in front of him. Now Dean Wickard trying to pressure Roger Carouf for 3rd. Can't quite do it. How about our Daytona 500 winner, Nicholas Samadio, in the number 13. And he was the guy that didn't start the race the first time I tried to record this. Now he's running second. So he's probably happy I'm having Bandicam problems. Anyway, LJ Mills is the leader, but he's pressured by Samadio here. Nicholas Samadio trying to become only the second driver this season to win multiple races. Dana Mon did it. He actually did 2 in a row, where he won at Texas and Rockingham. But Nicholas Samadio won the Daytona 500, trying to get his second career win on Napa Fan here today. And Roger Carruth trying to get his second career Coca-Cola 600 win. He won this race in season number 1. I know I repeat the same thing over and over again. I don't know why I do that. But I just got to keep talking. And I kind of think if I just keep talking, you guys are going to listen. You know, I'm kind of oblivious, you know, how a lot of people are. I'm not blaming you guys. You're not oblivious. You guys are really good. Oh, pit stops. And since we don't have a caution, we're going to start green flag pit stop. So LJ Mills coming in. Yeah, we don't really need to follow the pit stop, so we'll just follow the guys who stayed out. Whoa. You out of the way. Samadio now takes the lead in the number 13. Warren Henniger, Joffrey Toussaint, Jacob Reed, Trey Bartow, Cody Hagan, Hergel Irvin Alonso, Cameron Gaju, Christian Masters, Stevenson, Gordon, James, Sidnor, Free. And Garlington actually started it. He was the first guy to come in. He came in all by himself, so he's going to get those fresher tires on everybody. And he might possibly be the leader when this whole thing is said and done. Bartow stays out. Stevenson stays out. Second time around, at least. And it's a mess on the pit road. Cars coming in, cars coming out. And only 2 guys stayed out. So 2 guys are going to stay out. How many more laps is it than Garlington? 1, I think 3 more laps than Cameron Garlington. That's Trey Bartow and Diego Stevenson. They're finally coming in to make their stops. And here's Garlington in the 42. And there's Mills. Mills was a leader when he came in. Garlington's got a lot of momentum in this number 42, trying to catch up to LJ Mills. And when we cross the line next time by, we will be a third of the way through this race already. LJ Mills, the lead, well, not necessarily the leader, but yep, he's going to be the leader here. But Garlington's got a good head of steam in this number 42. He might take the lead here from LJ Mills. He's going to go underneath of him. And we'll see who leads at the third mark of the race, and it will be Cameron Garlington. Well, maybe not Cameron Garlington. It's because Bartow was still in the pit road. Second place guy was Stevenson, so those guys were 1-2 on that lap because they already started the lap. But anyway, the leader is now officially, well, LJ Mills. He's going to go underneath of Cameron Garlington and take the lead back. So Garlington actually never led during that whole cycle there. And LJ Mills stays out front in a number 18, but Garlington's got a good run on the outside. Henniger's in third. Samadio's in fourth. Reed is in fifth. Good run for the 46. Troxel, Walpole, Gabat, side by side with Hagen, the guy that won this season number 1. Carruth, Toussaint. I thought I heard tires squealing. Michael James is in the pit. He might have had a problem. And the guy that started on pole was leading a bunch of laps there is now 21st. So he didn't really get a good run there, Jesse Turner did, during those pit stops. And looking good for guys like LJ Mills and Cameron Garlington. Warren Henniger went from a very torn-up race car in season number 1 in this race to third place. So good for him. Nicholas Samadio, with the exception of the Daytona 500, we really haven't seen much of him this season. But he's running 4th in this race, so that's good for him. Jacob Reed, he's already won this season, won at California, so he has nothing to lose. And then we have guys here that are in and that have been in every single points race, but still haven't gotten the win yet. That small group of cars, small group of drivers, I should say, that have been in every points-paying race but yet to get a win. Aaron Walpole is one of them in the number 55. Cody Hagen's not in every series. Joffrey Toussaint is another one of those guys. Master did get a win in the Crown Royal Series this season. Mason Powers is another one that's been in every points-paying race but yet to get a win. Cavagnaro, just up to recently when he won that Hertz Elimination Series race at Armory Digital, was in that same group. Matt Dalio and Garrett Sonor are a couple of those guys who have been in every points-paying race but yet to get a win. Gaju does have a win. Fitzwater does. And Eric Powers does have a win. Hoffman. I believe Caleb Hoffman's another one of those guys who has never gotten a points-paying win. He hasn't gotten a win yet on NapaFan, which is quite hard to believe. Seems like all the guys that are really great fans of this channel always do lousy. Unfortunately, I kind of hate it. Skibnicki's another one of those guys that hasn't gotten a points-paying win yet. Never has won. Even going back to before the hiatus, he's just been nowhere. And Skibnicki still winless in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series and on NapaFan in general. And out of every race that I have ever done, he is still yet to win. He has one of the longest losing streaks on NapaFan. He's been in every Cup Series that I've ever done. I think every Farm Rich Series, or Crown Royal Series / Farm Rich Series. Crown Royal Series is going to become the Farm Rich Series after Season 1 because I'm banning alcoholic sponsors. But Skibnicki, one of the longest losing streaks on NapaFan, if you want to go back and count all the races that don't exist anymore. So yeah, Biff Crafton, he's got wins. Michael James. Okay, so yeah, I focused on that way too much, and I do apologize. But anyway, Warren Henniger probably using the draft to his advantage, taking the lead. Going to lead that lap. He's probably already led a few laps. And Nicholas Amadio is in second now with Mills and Garlington. The top four. Jacob Reed, Cody Hagen, Ferdinand Gabat, Trey Bartow back in here, and Christian Master, Abe Troxel, Joffrey Toussaint, Stuart Gratton, Roger Caroof, Aaron Walpole, Elijah Gordon, Cavagnaro, Powers, and Alonso, with Dalio, Selsman, Sonor, Stevenson, Neuwirth, Turner, Amon, Free, Blake, Fitzwater, Gaju, Kenyon, Hayden, Walker, Hoffman, Powers, White, Roberts, Million, Skivnicki, Wickard, Crafton, Spencer, James, and Samadio now the leader. I will focus on the lead now, I'm sorry. And I would like to admit my announcing for this race has been quite lousy. My announcing lately has been quite lousy. I can't even say anything right anymore. I don't know, and hopefully this thing doesn't lag. I don't want to have to go back and do this all again, but, you know what? If that's what I gotta do, it's what I gotta do. Anyway, Nicholas Amadio, now the leader here in the Coca-Cola 600. We are over halfway through this race. But the speeds definitely seem to be going very slow now. A lot slower than we were earlier. And it's a four-car breakaway between, Mills, Garlington, Henniger, and Samadio. All four of these guys have won before. In fact, all five of the top five guys have won in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series before. Cody Hagen's been in every Chick-fil-A Cup Series race and has yet to get a win, but he's trying to change that here tonight. He's definitely got a good shot in this number 48. And if I'm not mistaken, we might be able to do it where we only have one more set of pit stops. Now, it could actually be that the pit stops happen right when the race is ending. And that's how Jacob Reed got his win. As a matter of fact, that is very possible. Because, the pit stops happen pretty much at the at the 200-mile marks of each race. Of course, they're not actually that long, but every 20 laps or so is when we'll probably see guys come in, I think. So it's very possible that this could be a fuel strategy race, and one of those guys back in there that we really haven't seen much all night. And pit stops are actually going to start now with Cameron Garlington coming in. And of course, remember, he actually was the first one to come in all by himself that first time. He's now in the pit road. And San Mateo and Henniger now side by side for the lead, but I think Henniger is going to come in possibly. And no, he's not going to come in. But Crafton's going to come in. So it's going to be interesting. It could be one of these guys that wins the race, Henniger and San Mateo, because they are staying out later than the rest of the guys in the field. Of course, most of the guys come in with Crafton. But there's still quite a few guys out there that haven't pitted yet. Leader's going to come in. Henniger and San Mateo now making their pit stops. And we got guys like Christian Master, Trey Bartow, Elijah Gordon, Joffrey Toussaint staying out. Stevenson, we got 5 guys still staying out here. On 3 laps later, and Cameron Garlington pitted. Boy, they're racing really tough here. 3, 4, and 5. Toussaint, Bartow, and Gordon. Alonso staying out. Stevenson. And then here comes LJ Mills. He pitted the lap after Cameron Garlington did. And he was the leader when he came. Actually, he might not. He was third when he came in. And then, if you want to stretch it out even farther, I think. Bartow and Stevenson are staying out 4 laps later than Cameron Garlington. And if I'm not mistaken, they're trying to stretch it all the way to the end of the race. They're trying to make it on one more pit stop. And Bartow's going to finally come in with Stevenson, and that's going to complete the cycle of pit stops. And I really do think that Bartow and Stevenson are trying to stretch it to the end and have this be their last pit stop. It's possible, but it's very close. Anyway, this is most likely for the lead. I don't think anyone else in front of these guys were contending for the lead, but they are racing like they stole them. And LJ Mills now takes, not really the official lead, but the lead from Warren Henniger. I'm not making any sense, guys. I'm very, very sorry. This has been a very lousy race for me when you consider my announcing, and I do apologize, but as I said earlier, I'm frazzled by the whole Bandicam thing, and it not working. Anyway, this should be for the lead once this is all said and done. And Cameron Garlington in the 42 takes it. Wonder what happened to San Mateo. Not too bad. He fell back a little bit. Guys that really won on that set were Cavagnaro in the 11. Maybe Master. I don't remember Master being up here, but Cavagnaro definitely moving his way up in this number 11. But right now, the battle for the win is going to be between Garlington, Henniger, and Mills. But as we saw, the pit stops seem to be happening about every 20 laps. So the pit stops are going to start happening right near the end of the race for the 3rd time around. And I don't know if some guys are going to stay out and make it all the way to the end. It's very possible. We saw Bartow and Stevenson come in the latest. And it could be either Bartow or Stevenson that wins this race, only on 2 stops. But normally this is a 3-stop race, if you want to count out all the possible cautions that we could have. Okay, speaking of possible cautions, we're not going to have a caution for whatever happened on the track. And I know I have the caution set on, but looks like Fitzwater and Walpole having engine problems. And not good for those guys. They're not going to get good finishes. But anyway, we got a good race for the lead. LJ Mills, Warren Henniger, and Cameron Garlington have been switching it for quite a while here. And we are now in the last third of the race. But these 3 guys have really shown us that they can win. And these are past winners in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. All 3 of these guys won in season number 1. And if one of these guys wins, they would be the first driver, whoever it is, would be the first driver that won a race in season number 1 to win a race this season. And, here's an interesting thing. Since we haven't had a caution, we've been able to go through this race pretty fast. Now, usually we get at least one caution here in the Coke 600, but right now we have gone caution-free the whole race. Mills pulling away a little bit as Henniger and Garlington go side by side for second. San Medio's kind of far back from all this, and then you got this pack here, now led by Cody Hagen. But San Medio did kind of fall back a little bit on that set of stops, and these guys behind him might catch up to him, and that might help San Medio get up there and all that. So LJ Mills out front in the number 18, Warren Henniger, Cameron Garlington, the top three. With 15 laps to go in this race. It's a long race. It really does seem long for me because it's, well, I don't know. Let's put it this way. I kind of feel that I've been recording this race a little longer than 26 minutes. But, that could just be because of that first recording that didn't really work too well. But, anyway, this is always a long race. This is the longest race of the season. And when we race the whole thing under green, it does seem that we have been racing for quite a while. And, we're not really that close to the finish of the race either. We still got 13 laps to go now, so anything is still possible, and we probably will see some guys come in at the end, but some guys stay out at the end of the race. And it could be that same situation like we had in California, where Jake Capri was able to stay out and run to the finish and make the race only on one pit stop. And here, we might have some guys have to go for 3 pit stops, but some might be able to go for only 2 pit stops. So we'll see how that all plays out. With now 12 laps to go in this race. And it's still anybody's game because of that situation on the fuel. LJ Mills out front. He's actually led quite a few laps here in the later goings of this race. Henniger getting a draft, though. He's going to take the lead from him. Cameron Garlington in the 42. Lagging back here in third. I don't want to say that word. Elijah Gordon has now moved his way up to 5th place. Battle for 6th between Reed and Master. Cody Hagen, Alan Cavagnaro, Abe Troxel. Then we got this group led by Diego Stevenson. Now this could be for the win because we know that Stevenson and Bartow came 4 laps later than Cameron Garlington did, and they may be able to go the whole distance from here on out. And Stevenson, and normally it was Bartow that was ahead of Stevenson, but now Stevenson has gotten past Bartow, and that could mean a lot for who wins this race. Both of those guys won in season number 1. Both of those guys actually won multiple races in season number 1. 4 wins from those 2 drivers, and here comes Bartow underneath of Stevenson. Now this could really be the race for the win, but we'll see how it all plays out once we get to the end of the race. And how about this? Elijah Gordon with a fast car. He's closed in on the back bumper of Nicholas Amadio. Tristan Walker coming to the pit road. Of course, this is a long race, 60 laps. That's pretty long, and some guys coming into the pit road there, probably with engine troubles and all that. And Henniger is now the leader in the number 27, but I don't think these leaders are going to be able to make it the whole way through. I love it when we have late race pit stops, especially right there when they start, like maybe with 3 laps to go, because then you never know who's going to win. Richmond in season number 1 had that same situation. Biff Crafton won that race, and he only needed to take, there were quite a few cautions. Actually, there might not have been cautions in that race. I really don't remember. But anyway, he didn't have to come and pit when all the leaders were pitting, and he ended up winning the race. But here we go. They're starting now, so I'm going to say everybody's going to be able to make, everyone's going to have to make pit stops because Garlington is coming in here pretty early. But he's usually the first guy to come in. Darlene Kenyon, his teammates, coming in as well. So now I kind of expect to see everybody coming in because that's kind of early right there. Did I call him Biff Crafton earlier in the race? Biff Crafton drove his car in season number 1, but LJ Mills is the driver of it now. And LJ Mills now coming in. I probably did that. I don't know. I'm very foggy-headed today, and I do apologize for that. But anyway, Warren Henniger is the leader here as the pit stops are starting to cycle through for the third time tonight. Lap 55 of 60. And it looks like Henniger's coming in. Sam Badillo's coming in. Elijah Gordon and Jacob Reed stay out. Hair Joe Larvin Alonso stays out. A lot of guys are on the pit road. Hair Joe Larvin Alonso stays out. Trey Bartow stays out. Christian Master, Diego Stevenson, Joffrey Toussaint, Dana Mon. Garlington already made his pit stop. And you see all the guys here in the pit road. Elijah Gordon coming in. Hair Joe Larvin Alonso, Trey Bartow, Diego Stevenson. But they can't make it the whole way through now. We're on lap 56. Actually, they're on lap 57. They have 4 laps to go to they finish, but they can't make it 4 laps without stopping for fuel again. Of course, Bartow might stretch it again here. He's going high on the racetrack. So Bartow's going to stay out another lap. And it's going to be 2 laps to go the next time he crosses the line. But that is a really big stretch if he can do that. Of course, he's lapped Justin Roberts there. Right now, Bartow is the leader, but I expect him to come in this time by. And if he doesn't, which it does appear that he will, so Bartow's going to come in. So they'll race for the win. Oh, man, who is it going to be? You know what? It might be Elijah Gordon in the number 5 that has the lead. Yeah, he's ahead of guys like Warren Henniger and LJ Mills. And how about that strategy for Elijah Gordon? And Elijah Gordon just might win this race in the number 5. How about this? It's going to be 2 laps to go the next time he crosses the line. We'll see how this all plays out. It's looking good for Elijah Gordon, but Henniger could get a run. Bartow was the official leader of that lap, but I don't think he's going to... Oh! Nope, he's not. Thought he might get in front of Elijah Gordon, but he wasn't able to, but he's still going to get a good finish. Oh, no! He got hit by Cameron Garlington, and he's in the wall. No caution. And this is for the win. White flag in the Coca-Cola 600. Henniger trying to get underneath of Gordon for the lead. And Henniger's going to do it. Warren Henniger in the number 27 trying to win his first race in season number 2. And he's just flying by Elijah Gordon. And Warren Henniger, a last lap pass in the Coca-Cola 600. And Warren Henniger is going to be put in victory lane here in the Coca-Cola 600. Henniger wins at Charlotte. How about that? Warren Henniger with his 4th career Napa Fan win. And Warren Henniger will be the first ever 4-time winner on Napa Fan. His 3rd career Chick-fil-A Cup Series win and his first of the season. And he becomes the first driver this season to win that one in season number 1. So congratulations to Warren Henniger on his win. He is in the chase for season number 2. So a good race there. It kind of happened real suddenly. I don't know. I'm just not made to be doing this today. And anyway, take a look at the results here. Actually go through the top 5. Elijah Gordon finished 2nd. LJ Mills, Jacob Reed, and Diego Stevenson. The top 5. See the rest of the results right there. Then go down here. And Zachary Fitzwater had a problem. So did Aaron Walpole, Michael James, Tristan Walker, Dean Wickard, and Mason Powers. All seem to have problems in this race. They're all lap down or more. But no cautions in the Coca-Cola 600. That's quite a bit of racing to do without having a break. And Warren Henniger, though, he was able to just nail it. And he did a great job in that number 27, getting the lead on the final lap and taking the win in the Coca-Cola 600. So thank you guys very much for watching. The next race is going to be at Dover. I like Dover. Well, I don't really like Dover, but it's the closest track to where I live, so I guess I have to like it. But anyway, yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. Congratulations to Warren Henniger on winning the Coca-Cola 600. And I will see you guys later. Here are the points for the Chick-fil-A Cup Series.
Oh, sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah.